Well, we're back here again. Well. We're back here again. And here is the wheel. That's what I can read. It has been 1 week since I last picked up Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. That book was 600 pages of very conflicting emotions on my part. So well written. That was the last read. I am here again to pick a new book. I do not want to read Pachinko. I especially don't want to read Pachinko after having what I felt was an endurance test on my love for reading. Once I passed that 300 page mark for Black Leopard, Red Wolf, I felt emotionally hunted. I've now gotten invested too quickly and I'm scared. And I was right to be scared because I cried at the end. Now, I am thinking, please give me a short book. I want like the next 5 to be short books so I blast through them because I definitely took way too long. I'm never gonna make it to my deadline. I need to get a move on. We're going to spin this wheel. So, per usual, you get first look. What is it? House of Hunger? Oh yes, I forgot. You'd be saying, wait a minute, I don't think I saw that book last time. And you'd be correct, because I added 2 more books to this pile. I don't know why I did that. Actually, I do. I found them. They were hiding from me. I found them in my backpack. The 2 books were Just for the Summer, which I'm excited about. I want to read that one, but it's a hefty one. And then it was House of Hunger. My prayers were answered. It's a short one. I kind of wanted a more lighthearted read, but you know what? Let us continue reading gay books. None of this straight nonsense. I just want to read gay books. This is one of the books that I started reading. For whatever reason, I just forgot to continue. I even think I made it like halfway through. This is actually fantastic. This is a great pull. I could actually read this in one day, which is going to be today. It wasn't Pachinko. I'll dodge 3 bullets right now. Look at this. This is manageable. This is doable. In one sitting, I will read this. So, I will be back. Sincerely, I have been messing up this reading challenge because tell me why I'm almost done this book and I didn't do a check-in. So this is going to be the check-in. It has been way easier to read in comparison to Black Leopard, Red Wolf, but I, in fact, am not enjoying it as much. I feel like this book is a lot more rushed. And I will say, on this reading journey, this is probably the easiest book I've read so far in comparison to Chain Gang All-Stars and Black Leopard Red Wolf. Nothing will compete with how arduous, how laborious, how difficult of a read that was just because it was a sheer endurance test of me versus that book. This is probably the least exciting book to me to read. In comparison to the others, this book definitely feels really quickly paced. The last couple reads that I've had, they've been on the mid to longer range of books. And so in comparison, honestly, why am I so greedy? I want it all. I want a perfectly paced book, but also a short one. That's actually not possible. I really do like the idea of this whole premise of these blood maids or indentured servants. Their labor is through their blood, the payment of their blood to their lords and ladies of these houses. We have our main character who becomes indentured at the beginning of the story to the House of Hunger, Marion. I think I'm definitely nitpicking a little bit because I just really enjoyed the last 2 reads. I just wanted a little more of the darkness. I was thinking that it was more of a gothic horror novel, and there's definitely those elements, but I just needed to be dialed up to 1000 instead of 100. The relationship between the Countess and Marion, a little too quick, but I think that's the point. I haven't finished reading it, so I'm also just holding out judgment because with books these short, I personally feel that I can't really get a good gauge of what the book is until the end and just to see what the payoff is, if it's worth it. Unveiling a lot of the secrets within the House of Hunger, and yeah, I don't think I'm disappointed per se, but I do feel that out of the last 2 books, especially after just reading Black Leopard, Red Wolf, I feel like nothing put me through that emotional journey. It's such a bad thing that I'm doing, that I'm comparing the two, but I feel like Black Leopard, Red Wolf was able to evoke so many emotions from me so quickly. And even though the first 200 pages made me so mad that I almost DNF'd that book 10 million times, I was asking myself, why am I continuing reading this book? Why am I torturing myself? I hate this book, I hate this book, I hate this book. That was what I was thinking the whole 200 pages. And then I switched to the audiobook, and I think I might do that with this one. I might read the last bit, and maybe that'll change my mind, because again, maybe I'm just misreading this. Although I doubt it. It's definitely enjoyable moments, but I do think that this book does tell me a lot more of the information versus, describe it. This book does this thing where it just loves to tell me what's happening, as opposed to me being able to imagine what's happening. As opposed to being describing, it's talking to me. I don't particularly like that phenomenon in writing. I feel like a lot of this is repetitive. This author states things twice, but in a way that it's like supposed to hammer in, oh, this is suspicious, oh, pay attention. But I'm like, I'm smart enough after what I've been through and having to be the smartest reader on the planet after reading Black Leopard, Red Wolf. I can remember basic plot points. I stand by my original statements with this book that it does have this habit of talking to you. A lot of it is being narrated, observed in such a way that it's describing the scene in a very flat tone. I needed a little more imagery, a little more of that connection to make me feel more immersed in the space of this world. I felt like I was being told facts about this world as opposed to just discovering it through this book and being able to feel immersed in this world. I do think that these characters are really likable. I do think there are elements that I really grasped onto that I enjoyed. I would read other books of this author. I am curious to see if maybe her writing changes depending on it, because I do think this is a very interesting idea and it is worth the read. I don't think you lose anything. Look at how short this is. If this book were longer, I'd flesh out some of these scenes or some of these connections, especially the friendships within the Bloodmaids, and also to see why they would do anything to save each other. Like, I understand rationally, but I just needed a little bit more time with them, and especially having that betrayal between the Countess and Marion, just having that snap of like feeling so immersed from one second to the next. Even seeing the Countess do more could have been more emotional manipulation. I'm sorry, I feel like the Countess could have been worse. I wish that she was more evil. I don't know, I feel like sometimes I was like, damn, did she really even do that much? She did definitely. The Countess definitely deserved the ending she got, but I wanted her to be more evil. I wanted to be not like cartoony evil, but just more of the emotional manipulation, more of that kind of love bombing, if you will, more of that making vulnerable women or girls really, and showing them the first step of attention and adoration. And so on those weaknesses, especially since they gave us this information that Countess can view their memories, specifically saying exactly what they need to hear because she is needing their privacy and able to worm her way in faster. I left reading this book wanting for more, but I'm still excited to see where this goes. But yeah, I don't know, this is a 3-star read for me. I'm more excited that I finished it than actually reading it, so that's a bit of a letdown. I'm not super mad about it, I'm just whelmed. I'm going to have to see my next book is. I'm so scared. Truly, I feel like I've been on an emotional roller coaster. I've read 3 books that have been very difficult reads of different levels, but just emotionally taxing. I want 1 in a million. I want 1 in a million. Please give me 1 in a million. 1 in a million. 1 in a million. Or any of the romance books that are true romances. This one doesn't count because no happily ever after. No happily ever after, no romance. It's not even a dark romance. This is erotic horror or just horror with some romantic tension, hence the gothic in that genre name. Thank you for sticking around to listen to my review of House of Hunger. 1 book closer to being able to be done with this challenge, and let's hope that I can finish. I don't know. Every day that I do this challenge, I'm thinking to myself, I won't be able to finish, but one book closer. So see you on the next one.